how's it going? I'm Tyler McAloon. Welcome to Coffee Time. Today we're going to discuss the difference between fruit sugars or added sugars and table sugar. Now the first thing I wanted to talk about is what actually is that sugar. So in fruit, the naturally occurring sugar is called fructose. Now in your table sugar or added sugars, it also includes fructose, but it gets combined with glucose to make up that added sugar. There are a few health concerns that can come along with eating too much sugar, and that doesn't matter if it comes from fruits or added sugar. They're all the same. One would be high blood sugar levels. This can be a problem for diabetics because it can lead to serious organ failure and damage. A second one would be insulin resistance. Now, insulin resistance is essentially when the body no longer processes sugar the way that it should. The third one is a caloric surplus. So basically this means the more sugar you take in, the more calories you take in, the more weight we gain. So what is the big difference between fructose that comes from fruit and fructose that comes from added or table sugars? Now, the biggest thing is when you eat a piece of fruit, you have the body of the fruit, you have fiber, you have the fructose, you have all the other nutrients and vitamins within that fruit. When we consume that fructose that way, the absorption in the body gets slowed down a ton compared to added sugar or table sugar. That's good because it allows the body to naturally process it and use that sugar as it's needed, instead of spiking the blood sugar way up high and then crashing down once it's all out of the system. Now, fruit is measured on a scale called the glycemic index, and essentially what that means is the scale tells you how much fructose the fruit has per piece. So if something's high up on the scale, it has a lot of fructose. Some examples would be mangoes, grapes, and dates. Now that doesn't mean those fruits are bad, it just means you gotta keep an eye on the portion and not have a whole bowl of dates or an entire bowl of grapes all at once. It's gonna spike up that sugar. Now, in general, any fruit is gonna be less dense in fructose than a junk food or a heavily processed food with added sugars. Celebrity trainer and nutrition coach Thomas DeLauer says that in 1 can of Coke, 1 can of soda, there's 26 grams of fructose. That would be the equivalent of eating 5 to 9 bananas, 3 to 5 apples, and 5 to 6 entire cups of blueberries. So as you can see, the density just does not add up. You would have to eat a lot of fruit to get the same amount of fructose that you would get from a snack or something with added sugars. So the major difference between the fruit and the table sugar is that the table sugar is an extremely simple carb. It's a simple form of sugar. When you eat it, it's going to go straight through to the bloodstream as quickly as it can. And that's mainly due to the lack of fiber that you have in the fruit. The junk foods, the sodas, the snacks, they don't have that fiber. Oftentimes it's loaded with sugar to make it taste good and loaded with fat also to make it taste good. So that's a big difference right there. In conclusion, when sugar is consumed in high amounts, it's not really great for you in any capacity, whether it comes from fruit or added sugars. We want to try our best to stay away from those added sugars when you can. Also, whenever you get the option, choose the fruit over the snack, because that fruit's going to have fiber, it's going to be absorbed a lot better into the body, it's going to make you feel good having that fruit. Just so you know, the recommended amount of fruit to have in a day is 2 cups. Have a good one.